So you're thinking about buying a BuzzTV X5 64AI, /N don't. /N at least not before you watch this. I've tested every feature so you don't waste your money on a box that promises a seamless Android TV experience but delivers something far more frustrating, /N, but here's what surprised me. This thing isn't all bad. It actually has one killer feature that almost made me forgive its sins, /N therefore, today's honest review isn't just a rant. It's a deep dive into the good, the bad, and the utterly broken. We'll see if this streaming beast is a savior or a scam. For the best price, click the link in the description, /N OK, let's rip off the Band-Aid. The BuzzTV X5 64AI sounds incredible on paper. Android 11, 4GB RAM, 64GB storage, a fast octa-core processor, 4K HDR, and Dolby audio support. It's basically the sports car of streaming boxes, /N, but what happens when you take that sports car for a spin? You quickly realize the suspension is made of jelly and the engine sputters at the first hill, /N therefore, the first massive problem is the software experience. BuzzTV slaps its own heavy, clunky, ad-ridden launcher on top of Android TV. It's like buying a premium car only to find the previous owner glued cheap, fuzzy dice all over the dashboard and you can't remove them. /N, here's a promise. By the end of this, you'll know exactly whether this ticking time bomb of frustration belongs in your living room or in the recycling bin. /N, opening the box feels premium. The device itself is sleek with a glowing LED logo. Setup is straightforward. Plug in power, connect to HDMI, and pair that remote. Oh, that remote. It feels like a toy from a cereal box. The buttons are mushy, the backlight is inconsistent, and the air mouse function is so jittery it's like trying to perform surgery with a garden hoe. You'll be battling the cursor more than navigating. /N therefore, your first interaction with the device is a fight. Not a great start. /N, once you're in, you're greeted by the BuzzTV launcher. It's busy, it's bloated, it's pushing sponsored content, VPN ads, and pre-installed apps you'll never use. /N, but can't you just install a different launcher? Technically, yes. However, and this is a big however, the BuzzTV software is notoriously stubborn. Many users report launchers like ATV Launcher or F-Launcher either crashing or being forcibly reverted after a reboot. It's like digital Stockholm Syndrome. /N therefore, you're often stuck with their vision of your TV home screen, which is less curated experience and more garage sale of apps. /N, let's talk performance, the supposed heart of the 64AI. For basic streaming from Netflix or Prime Video, it's fine. Once the app loads, playback is smooth. /N, but switch apps. Open the settings menu, try to multitask. That's when the 4GB of RAM feels like 4KB. You'll encounter noticeable lag, stutters, and the occasional full system freeze that requires a hard reboot. It's less Android TV and more Android Sci. /N therefore, the AI in the name feels like a cruel joke. The only intelligence it displays is knowing exactly when to freeze during the climax of your movie. Talk about artificial unintelligence. /N now, the elephant in the room. This box is often marketed towards flexible streaming. People buy it for its ability to sideload third-party apps not found on the Google Play. Here's the twist. Its greatest strength is also its biggest weakness. Because BuzzTV modifies the Android TV core so heavily, compatibility with these popular third-party streaming apps is a gamble. Some work flawlessly. Others crash on launch. Some load but then buffer endlessly due to codec issues. /N therefore, if that's your primary use case, you're entering a world of constant tinkering, updates, and forum diving to get things working. It's a hobby, not a plug-and-play solution. /N, let's get into the video playback specs. 4K HDR10, check. Dolby audio, check. /N, but in practice, I ran into repeated audio-video sync issues, especially when switching between content types. Lip sync would drift, and the only fix was to stop and restart playback. For a box touting premium media features, this is a fundamental failure. It's like a chef who can make a gorgeous cake that tastes like cardboard, /n. Therefore, the core media experience is unreliable. And what's the point of a streaming box that can't reliably stream, /n. Remember that one killer feature I mentioned. Here it is, the Ethernet port and the overall network stability. Once you get a stream going, the wired connection is rock solid. No buffering, /n. And there's always a but with this box that only highlights how the software holds back the capable hardware. It's like having a champion racehorse that refuses to leave the stable because it doesn't like the color of the jockey's shirt. /n. Therefore, you're left with a device of contradictions. Great hardware potential, sabotaged by sloppy, intrusive software. /n. What about updates? BuzzTV does provide firmware updates, /n, but these updates are a double-edged sword. Sometimes they fix a bug. Just as often, they introduce new ones or break an app that was working before. Updating feels less like an upgrade and more like playing Russian roulette with your home theater setup. My advice: if it's working okay, hide the update notification and pretend it doesn't exist. /n. Let's touch on storage. 64 GB is fantastic. You can install a ton of apps. /n. But with the sluggish performance, you'll be reluctant to fill it up. It's like having a massive garage for your sports car, but the garage door opener breaks every other time you use it. The space is there, but accessing it is a pain. /n. Therefore, the spec sheet is, in many ways, a mirage. The numbers look good on the Amazon listing, but evaporate under real-world use. /n. Here's a mini promise. I'll tell you who might tolerate this box, and it's a very specific type of person. /n. After weeks of testing, the final verdict is messy. The BuzzTV X5 64 AI is not a product for the average consumer. It's not for your parents. It's not for someone who just wants to click and watch, /n, but it might be for the tinkerer, the person who sees a software problem as a puzzle to solve, who enjoys customizing every setting, who doesn't mind restarting their device twice a night. For that person, the powerful hardware and network stability might be worth the headache. /n. Therefore, for 99% of viewers, I cannot recommend this box. The constant software battles, laggy interface, and playback issues ruin the experience. There are more stable, user-friendly Android TV boxes on the market, even if they have less storage. /n. So, should you buy the BuzzTV X5 64 AI? /n. If you want a project, maybe. If you want a reliable streaming companion, absolutely not. You'll spend more time fixing it than watching it. It's the streaming box equivalent of a high-maintenance pet that knocks over your furniture but is sometimes cute. /n. For everyone else looking for the best price on the alternatives, I'd recommend instead click the link in the description below. Save yourself the frustration. Your TV time is valuable. Don't waste it fighting with a black box that has commitment issues.